What is a trauma bond? A trauma bond is a highly addictive attachment to people that hurt you. It's very hard to let go of this bond because it is intermittently reinforced by good treatment. So one day they're nice to you, dopamine. The next day they're treating you terribly, cortisol. The next day they're nice to you again, dopamine. And the next day they're terrible to you, cortisol. This keeps repeating. So like a gambler who is always waiting for the next win and they keep trying and trying and trying, it keeps them addicted. In the same way, this emotional addiction causes a trauma bond, which is in effect slavehood and bondage, because this enables self-distrust. It gets you to completely hand the controls over to another person so that you no longer depend on yourself for your own judgment, opinions, and rationale. Your entire reality is now based on the false world or the fake reality that this person's abuser has created. How do you know if you have a trauma bond? Firstly, are you making lots of excuses for the person that is abusing you? You always cover up for them, you always have an excuse, you always dismiss any negative opinion about them to cover up what they're doing so that they don't look bad, because if they look bad, it makes you look bad. It makes you have to face the responsibility for your choices, and it also, you've meshed your identity into them so much that you feel like that people are insulting you when they, expose the abuser for their horrible treatment of you. There's also lots of shame involved because, how could you let them do that to you is the next question that people will ask you. And then, of course, the final question, why don't you leave, which is something for another time because that's a very loaded question. No one understands really how difficult it is to leave a trauma bond, because usually you're hooked and reeled in by other factors, such as children together with that person, such as financial constraints that keep you bonded and addicted to his bad treatment, because with his bad treatment comes good treatment, and then usually they make sure you're not working so that you're completely and utterly financially dependent on them. So they've got you by the short and curlies. If you try to leave, you will be doomed, or they will rub it into your face that you will never find anyone as good as them. And the trauma bonded person usually believes this. The second indicator that you are trauma bonded to someone is that you believe their false promises, even though you know they're a liar. They have broken their promises and word to you and shown a lack of integrity several times and keep repeating this, yet through some rose-tinted glasses view of reality, you refuse to acknowledge that they do not actually have your best interests at heart and that they will never fulfill those promises that they made to you. You feel a sense of intimacy through loyalty to them, even though what they have done that you are covering up was very damaging to other people. So you know all the ways in which they've robbed other people, cheated other people, scammed other people, hoodwinked and lied to other people, and hurt people behind their backs or in front of them. But you hide all of this for some false sense of security that by being loyal to them, you are showing them your commitment and your faithfulness and your trustworthiness, even though they are the least of people to be shown trustworthiness because they do not exhibit this in response to you at all. Another way that you have an indicator that you're trauma bonded is that you go overboard in trying to assist, help, and serve the abuser, even though you know that they're being horrible to you and that they're using you. They may even be using you financially, yet you will bend over backwards trying to attend to their every need, paying for this, paying for that, or if it's not financial, then emotional or in service, seeing to that their every need is met, whether it's sexual, whether it's food, whether it's cleaning their home or clothes or belongings or car or whatever it is, maintaining any sort of part of their life. You'll bend over backwards to help them, even though you know that they would never do the same for you, and even though you know they're using you and the damage that they are causing you. In spite of all of that, you will still be their slave and you will still serve them unceasingly. Another indicator that you're trauma bonded is that you lose all self-respect, all integrity, and all self-worth because you've given it all to this abuser in order to barter for your presence in their lives. You feel so bonded to them through many different aspects, which I've mentioned already, that it's very hard for you to believe in yourself after this. The damage is so far reaching that you're not your own person anymore. Whatever you did or were, or whoever you were before you met them, has died. That person has been completely lost in the process because of the handover of yourself and your self-esteem to this person, and the complete remote control to your soul. Another indication that you're trauma bonded is that you actually enjoy, in a masochistic way, you enjoy the pain that they inflict on you for many reasons. First of all, they made you believe that you don't deserve any better. So you honestly begin to believe that you don't deserve anything better. So you put up with and tolerate all of the abuse, sometimes even happily. Sometimes they will treat you well, and you'll wonder, why are they so nice to you? They should go back to being horrible to you, because that's what you were used to. Your body, your mind, your psyche become accustomed to poor treatment, so that should you meet someone in the future who treats you well, it would seem completely foreign, and you will be even disgusted by this. In the case of many women who have been treated poorly, they then go on to meet a wonderful man who's actually a genuinely good guy, and they're repulsed by him. They go, oh, there's no chemistry. Oh, I feel nothing for him. Oh, crickets. Oh, it's like there's no fireworks or sparks. That's because what you've been accustomed to your entire life was pain, and it's the clink of the familiar chains that you're used to. And if you don't feel that in another relationship and you actually get good treatment, your self-esteem, or your lack thereof, is not used to that. So you will not be able to identify with being respected or with being treated well. And you will often reject these good people in exchange for someone who treats you like crap. So codependent people are often trauma bonded because of some need that is being fulfilled in the relationship, be it financial, emotional, psychological, mental, intellectual, some need. And they're addicted due to the intermittent reinforcement of good and bad behavior. So good treatment and poor treatment, which keeps occurring on a roller coaster, so that you get addicted, just as a junkie would. So keep in mind what a trauma bond is, and just try and identify with your own dynamic with your partner or whoever you have a relationship with of any kind, whether this relationship is actually good for you, whether it's based on healthy morals, ethics, and principles, and common values that are of an elevated spiritual nature, or whether it's just feeding your base cravings for pain and don't really serve you at all because they're destroying you and killing you slowly. Thank you so much, and do check out my link in the description box below for more information and the course that I produced for narcissistic abuse survivors who usually are trauma bonded to their partners. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, hit the like and subscribe, and leave a comment below on if you know any other indicators of being trauma bonded. Thank you, assalamu alaikum, and goodbye.